everyone. Welcome to this live session. Welcome to another wonderful time of Chit-Chat. One more story, please, mommy. One more laughter. Now, these are some of the questions that our children ask, or these are some of the things that our young children ask for, ask from us as their parents. Mommy, please, 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 one more story. Can you read again? Oh, mommy, please, 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 can you tell me that story? Daddy, please, please, can you tell me a bedtime story today? Now, these are the things that we hear from our children today. But it will shock you, dear parents, that those please, those questions our children ask of us, or those demands that they make of us, will disappear one day. And you know the truth about it, it will disappear faster than you can imagine. So, what I've come to tell myself as a parent is, you see, these moments, this beautiful moments, this time where the children are asking you to spend a little more time with them, this time where the children are asking you for one more story, these are the times that we should cherish as parents. Because locked in those appeals and locked in those requests is a whole lot, from trust to dependence, from love to emotions, all of it locked in there. Now, this is not to guilt trip any of us. This is not to guilt trip any of us. It is more like this is to help us become more aware and more conscious of the time that we have with our children. Good evening. Thank you for joining me for another chit chat. My name is Maribeth Chima, and yes, I am your favorite children's coach. I am the matron of the Mastermind Circle. Yes, yes, a mentorship program that we run for young children, where we hold their hands, where we support them with calm, with a deep sense of understanding. That's what we do in the Mastermind Circle. We support our children with a lot of calm, with a deep sense of understanding, and with a deep sense of connection and accountability, because we understand the phase where the children are at, between 5 and 10, and we understand the needs that they have in this stage. All right, or during this stage rather. All right, so let's talk about how short the time we have, or how the things that our children seek of us today, they may not need after a while. And how fast that happens is dependent on how present you are for them today. As I said, that day will come faster than you can imagine. And one day, without warning, they won't ask you for one more story. One day, without warning, your child will not ask you for that bedtime story at all. This class is not about guilt, as I said before. It is more about awareness, because we should never regret what we never regret what passes. What we regret is actually the things that we had the opportunity to do that we did not do. All right. Welcome, 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 welcome again. Children outgrow their toys, they outgrow their clothes, they outgrow different phases of their life, but they will never outgrow your love. They will never outgrow the feelings that they have for you, and they will never outgrow the way that you make them feel. So, what makes our children move on, or what will make your child move on from you, is the way that you treat them, or the way that you show up for them. Now, this is why we have created the 21-day bedtime story and bonding challenge. What we want to do is we want to equip you with the right way to show up for your children. We want to equip you to show up for your children in a way that you that you bond with them. We want to equip you to show up for your children in a way that you become connected, in a way that you are so present that your children never forget because of the experiences that you are creating together and the memories that you are building. It is said that our children will not remember the things that we bought for them or the things that we did not give them. What they will remember is the memories that we create together. It is very important. Thank you, Paul Ifeanyi. Thank you, sir. All right. So, what is important is the memories that we create with them, the experiences that we create with our children. So, dear parents, you do not want to joke with the experiences that you can create with your children. And we say it, I have said it, in the beginning of this series, and I will say it every day. It is not in the amount of time or the length of the time that you spend with your children. It is in the quality of that time. It is in what you bring to those experiences or that time, what you bring to those times that you spend with your children. That is what will create the experiences. That is what will leave the memory. That is what will actually get your child waiting and expectant every day. So all you could be spending with them could be 10 or 15 minutes. But as I said, that 10, 15 minutes could be the highlight of your child's day. That 10, 15 minutes could be all that your child is waiting for throughout the day. And it is very important. Connection is built in small moments and not in grand gestures. Connection is built in the small things that you do with your children. It's not always in big vacations. It's not always in big gifts. If you can afford them, good and fine. But the truth is, connections do not necessarily have to be expensive. It is in those ordinary nights, dear parents. It is in those quiet reading. It is in those shared laughter. It is in those soft questions in the dim light. It is in that 5 more minutes that you spend with them just because they said, Mommy, one more story, or Mommy, could you stay with me a little longer? Okay, it is in those few minutes that you stop by and say, I just wanted to check on you. I mean, daddy just got back, and you rest for a few minutes and then you pop in and say, I just wanted to check on you and say good night before you go to sleep. It is in those little things, in those little moments. Okay, this is what will leave the experiences in your children. This is what will leave those memories that we are talking about, that we need to create, or we need to learn how to create with our children, dear parents. Okay, it is in the soft questions and all those moments in the dim light, small consistent deposits that you make into the life of your child, one day at a time. This is emotional wealth. And this is what your young child needs today. Read again is a window of trust. So every time your child says to you, Mommy, can you read me a story? Daddy, can you read me a story? Mommy, can you repeat it? Or can you read it one more time? Or can you read the story you read for me yesterday again? That is trust that is speaking. That is your child saying to you, I trust you. That is your child saying to you, I want to be around you. That's your child saying to you, I love to spend my time with you. So why are you rushing away, dear parents? Okay. So I said yesterday that when you don't put structure into your bedtime routine with your child, what you realize is all you're trying to do is hurry up and leave them. So when bedtime becomes just a routine, all you do is you just show up and read a story. Sure, they say it's good to read stories to children. So yeah, you show up and then you read a story, and that's it. It becomes a simple routine. It does not become a ritual. It does not become a an opportunity for learning, you are not able to convert it into a connection to and a connection moment between you and your child. So let's move from just making bedtime story that time. Let's move from making it just a mere routine, right, to making it memorable, a memorable moment or experience, for us and for our children. So when children say one more story, they are saying to you, I trust you. Stay with me. I feel safe with you. I like this time that we spend together. Very important. Wouldn't you want to hear those words from your children? Now, when you stay in those story time with your children, you are actually feeding their emotional needs. You are feeding their emotional needs and you are feeding their emotional tank. I say to parents a lot of the times, one day, all that will matter to you will be how your child treats you and the words that they say to you. Okay, it will not be in all of the glitterati. It's not going to be in all of the things that they buy for you. It's not going to be in them paying all of your bills and ensuring that your DSTV works and ensuring that you get all the entertainment that you have. All of that will mean nothing to you one day. What will mean more to you will be your child leaving everything and spending some time with you. What will mean everything to you will be the words, the kind words that your child says to you. Now, this is why you have to show up for them today. If you show up for them today, you are giving them the right language. You are giving them, or you are modeling to them what it means to be there. You are modeling what trust means to them. You're modeling what showing up means for them. And so you would have taught them how to show up. And so when the time comes, your children will know how to show up for you. Very important. Number four, regret comes from delay, not from inability. I say that again. Regret comes from delay, not inability. Most parents don't regret what they couldn't do. Let me repeat that again. You will not regret what it is that you couldn't do. You will not regret what it is that you couldn't create for your child or what you could not provide for your child. What you will regret are the things that you had within your ability to do, the things that you postponed, the things that you could have done that you did not do because you were too busy to do. That's what you will regret. So, why don't you begin to think about this more critically and begin to think of what to do? And that's what we want to take away from you having to sit down and think too much. That's why we created the 21-day reading bedtime story and bonding challenge. We have created a whole structure around bedtime story, okay? And we didn't leave it at that. We have created a whole solid curriculum around it. So now you would know when you join us for that challenge, you will know how to show up for your child every day, not with just simple stories, but you will show up with stories that will pass convictions to your children. You will show up with stories that will teach your children. You will show up with stories that will build their mindset and will open up their mind. You will show up with stories that are not just stories, but are connection opportunity for you and your children. We will teach you how to tell these stories. We will teach you how to add excitement to your story time with your children. We will teach you how to turn bedtime stories to memories and great experiences that will live with you and your child for the rest of your life. We will teach you how to make bedtime a channel that is open for communication for a lifetime between you and your child. Today, you are telling bedtime stories. Tomorrow, it will be a line that you would use to have deep conversations, line that you will use to depend on each other and support each other, just because you created that communication line through simple bedtime stories once upon a time. Very important. When you say to yourself, I will start next month, Or you say to yourself, I do not have time for this because I am busy. I will do it when work slows down. I will do it when I am on leave. I will do it when my workload reduces. What you are doing is you are postponing. And dear parents, your child's childhood does not wait for you. Your child's childhood will not wait for when you can clear your schedule. Your 2 year old is not only always going to be 2 year old. You will find out that by the time you are ready, your 2 year old is now 7. By the time you are ready, your 7 year old will probably be 14, and they do not need you the way they needed you when they were 2. So yes, as time is moving, your child is moving. Growth is happens in silence. Growth happens in silence. And the wider or the more you disconnect from your child, the more coldness you introduce into your relationship, the more difficult it is for you to connect with them. So this is why we have created the 21 days challenge, so that we will help you, dear parents, who doesn't know how to connect with your child. We will give you an opportunity and guide you to start connecting with your child. And for those of you who have left that gap for a while because you didn't know what to do or because you were not present, we will show you how to use just 15 minutes a day to begin to close that gap with your child. Your child can trust you again. Your child can trust you again. All right. All you need to do is you need to make up your mind to do this. You need to make up your mind to be a part of this challenge so that you can start that journey today and not postpone it one more time and not move it far one more time. Very important. Don't regret what you can start tonight. Don't regret what you can start today. Don't regret what you can start or what you can kickstart in this challenge. Make up your mind and register today so that you can be a part of this challenge and you can begin to build that connection, close the gap, or make the connection consistent so that it becomes a lifeline between you and your child. Because I know some of us, it's not like we don't connect with our children or we don't do anything at all. It is in the consistency, and it is in you being able to use a wonderful tool like bedtime story. You probably have other ways that you connect with your child here and there, but I'm trying to say to you today, if you are not using bedtime story, then you are leaving a lot on the table. Bedtime story, it's an amazing, it's one of the most beautiful tools that you can use to connect with your child, especially if you're a parent of a young child. Even if you're a parent of an adolescent, your 10-year-old, your 12-year-old, your 13-year-old, you can still connect with them. And that is because bedtime stories allows you to teach difficult concepts and difficult topics, right, in very relatable way. It's very easy for your child to relate to a story, all right, where the child can become connected with the character in the story, and then your child learns the lesson in fun, not what's the word now? You know how you judge, not in a judgmental way, but more in a soft, beautiful, and connective way. Because now the child is able to connect with the story, relates with the story, connects with the character in the story, and your child does not feel judged when you are teaching them about a topic that is difficult. It could be that your child has done something, right? So it's not like the child has done something today and then that evening you begin to tell them a story about that. The child has done something today and you know that, okay, there is a learning or there is a teachable moment in this. All you want to do is keep it for a few days and then tell them a story or read them a story where the character had to deal with something like that. What you would do is you would teach the child, right, how to go about that challenge. You would teach the child, right, the concepts that they need to solve that problem without being judgmental. The child doesn't feel attacked. When we preach to children, when we correct children, when we scold children, a lot of times, especially for our teenagers, right, for our Teens, a lot of times they feel like they are being attacked. They feel like they are being judged. They feel like you are nitpicking. But bedtime story or stories take out all that, pressure from your lesson. Very important. So that's why it's a tool that every parent must learn how to use if you want to connect with your child and still help them learn, values, morals, and all of the amazing lessons that there is to learn. Very important. Okay? Don't regret what you can start today. I say that again. Bedtime story is the most emotional moment of the day. It's one of the most emotional, open moments or open 30 minutes, 15 minutes or hour, right? Because it is a time that your child is already looking forward to. It is a time that your child feels like, I have my mommy or I have daddy, right? I have their full attention. Because when you create a routine, right, a bedtime routine, and you make it structured, what it says to your child, as I said yesterday, is I see you. I am here for you. You matter this much. This time is dedicated to you. Now, when a time is dedicated to the child feels like this is my time with you. This is a time that I get to own being with you. This is a time that you belong to me. That's the feeling, right? You belong to me. So it becomes an emotional moment between you and your child. And the child is able to drop their defenses. Yes, bedtime stories helps children to drop their defenses. They do not feel judged. They are not attacking. They've withdrawn all their claws, right? And they are just in that happy place where they just want to feel like they have you to themselves and they're not sharing you with anyone at that time. Whether it's bedtime story or one of those pillow talk moments, the child feels like, hey, it is you and me. I know how I come for pillow talk, and our daughter just simply shits and she says, "Mommy, lie down here, lie down here." It feels like, this is my moment, this is my time with you, and I have you, so I can tell you where to stay. Like, I can tell you where to stay in the place where I feel the warmth of having you by my side the most. And she's like, "Mommy, just lie down here." And then you lie down, and the child comes closer, even for your older children, boy, girl, with daddy, mommy. It just helps them drop all of their defenses, right? And just accept that, they have you. Accept that, they're privileged to have you. That's what you do when you give your children this time. They feel like it's a privileged time that you have created for them, right? And if you really want your children to honor you and you want your children to feel connected to you, then you want to create those moments, okay, for bedtime stories. You want to create those moments for pillow talks where they can feel like you're all mine at this time. All right. He helps them drop their defenses. Their voices are softer. Have you noticed that? For starters, your voice is softer. When you tell your children bedtime stories, right? And that's what we want to teach you. We want to teach you how to tell them stories in those soft voice, right? When you tell them stories in those soft voice, when you have those pillow talks, the pillow talks are not times for you to go and preach. The pillow talks are not time for you to go and scold them. The pillow talks is actually the time where you listen to them and you speak in a soft voice where they can also listen to you. It's a time where you connect emotionally, right, with each other. And as I said the other day, when this happens, especially for younger children, in fact, for all of your child, for all of your children, your child's brain begins to associate your voice with calmness. Your child's brain, it's a good way to erase or to actually take off all the yelling. If you're a parent who is in the space where you want to work on how much yelling goes on in your parenting, you want to repair all that yelling and all the toxicity in your relationship with your child. I promise you, bedtime story is your go-to place. If you have been a yelling parent, if you have been a parent that has disconnected, or you can see that there's a disconnection between you and your child, I tell you, I'm prescribing for you, get into telling bedtime stories. Because what you're doing is You are rewiring the child's brain thanks to neuroplasticity. You are rewiring the child's brain to recognize your voice as a calm voice that is soothing, that is supportive, that is protective, that can be trusted. So what you're doing, you're replacing all that yelling and shouting, and all of that with that calm voice, so that your child begins to associate your voice with calmness. They begin to associate your voice, with support, and understand, trust, basically. So yes, bedtime stories, I tell you again, is such a powerful tool that no parent, should parent in today's world. No parent should parent without telling bedtime stories. And the thing is, our parents told these bedtime stories, or at least our grandparents told these bedtime stories. Can you remember how your grandparents, I don't know about you, if you had your grandparents, and you met them when they were alive, you will notice that one of the things that, our grandparents did a lot was tell stories. They told stories. And so we associate, I don't know about you, right? I associate my grandparents, right? You associate your grandparents, with those stories. Basically, you associate them with those stories, and that's why even in the challenge, we will get you to get your parents, right, to tell stories to your children, because we want your children to enjoy that calmness that comes with grandma's story or grandpa's story. They can be beautiful, because you can see in those story moments, grandma, grandpa wants to they want you to, have a peek into what their world is like, or what the world is like, or how they see the world. They want you to have a peek, into it. And so they tell it, they relish it when they tell the stories, and the calmness that come with all of it is what we are interested in, because we want to rewire our children's brain, right, to begin to see family and see connection, as something that is done with calmness, that is soothing, right? That's how we build connections in our relationship. And that's how we introduce this in our homes. Okay, so very important. All right, so last one we're going to be sharing today is 15 minutes daily equals to legacy. 15 minutes daily is equal to legacy. So when you learn to incorporate bedtime stories into your routine, what you're doing is you are passing down convictions, and you're passing down your legacy to your child. Yes. Now, you want to multiply this. 15 minutes, multiply it by 21 days. It's multiply it by 21 days. That's what we want to give you. We want to give you an amazing time. We want to give you a beautiful time, a transformational time. Stay with us for 21 days. Share the stories that we have with your child. Share the stories tell the stories that we would give you to your child. Share with your child the moments that we would tell the stories to you. Have the moments that you can bring your parents to also tell them stories. And I promise you, your child is up for a transformational moment. That's the truth about it. Because you cannot be in our 21 days challenge and you wouldn't have passed down legacy. You wouldn't have passed down deep knowledge. And I'm talking about knowledge in all areas, from history to myth to real life stories to SOPs that your children can use in their real life situation. We have it all packed for you. I'm telling you, you don't want to even imagine. All right. So it's gonna be, even you will have a deep moment, with the stories that we'll be bringing for you, all right, in this challenge. And it's not just about the stories, it's in how you're going to tell the stories, it's in the experiences that you're going to create together while you're telling those stories. So it's going to be 21 days of transformation. It's going to be 21 days of communication. It's going to be 21 days of building confidence in your child. It's going to be 21 days of emotional safety. It's going to be 21 days of constructing or building your child's identity. You don't need 1 hour. I repeat, you don't need 1 hour. You just need 15 minutes of intentional time. If you have more time with your child, why not? But just 15 minutes of intentional time, and you can make such a huge difference in your child's life. And above all, you can open a line of communication that will last for a lifetime. One more laugh, mommy. One more story, mommy. And I have said to you, this is so deep because this is your child communicating trust for you. This is your child saying, I love being with you. And I said, that day will come faster than you think that it will come. That day will come faster than you can imagine, especially if you do not start today. It comes faster than you can imagine if you don't start today. Do you know in some families, by the time the child is 10, 12, the child is not even interested in spending time with their parents again? Yes, you have 12-year-olds that, I mean, all they want to do is just disappear when their parents walk into the room. That's because you have not maximized the years that you had with them. You did not apply the right tools. You did not use the opportunity. You didn't use that opportunity effectively. So even at 10 and 12, your child doesn't want to be around you. Just think about that. Yet, with the right system, yet with bedtime stories, structured bedtime story, you can have even your 15-year-old craving for your time, your 16-year-old still excited to hang around you and to have those moments with you just because of what you have learned and what you will learn in this challenge and what you can bring to the table. I know you may have children who are disconnected. What we are saying to you today is we can help you bridge that gap, and then you take it from there and continue to work on it. And I promise you, as you do, you will be able to establish connection again with your child just because you decide to try. Okay, so don't regret what you can start today. As I said, what you would regret is what you can start that you did not start. It's not what you did not know. It's not what you did not have. Okay? It's more of what you could have done or what you could start that you did not start. So turn that bedtime into connection. Turn those stories into conversations, dear parents. Turn those moments into legacy. That is what we are bringing to you if you join our 21-day bedtime story and bonding challenge. And if you need a system that will help you, this is what we are bringing to you in this 21-day bedtime story and bonding challenge. And as I say, one story, one conversation, one night, starting today. So why don't you go ahead and start today by registering for the bonding and connection challenge? It is only 5,000 naira. 5,000 naira, Mary, and you have our attention for a whole 21 days. This is to say to you that we are so interested in holding the hands of parents. Okay, we can teach this in 2 days and everybody goes, and I give you this 21 days challenge to go and have it with your children. But no, we did not do that, or we chose not to do that, because we are all about holding hands and helping parents create the experiences. We're all about holding hands and having parents execute, because we know a lot of the time the biggest struggles that most parents have is not the knowledge, is not the resources, it's taking those resources and turning them into what is effective in the life of their children. And because your children matter so much to us, we want to stay in there with you. We want to build with you, and we want to hold your hand through the experience. All you need to do is register and show up, and we will lead you through the rest. All right. Thank you very much for joining me, because I think this is where I am going to stop for today. It's already past 30 minutes. My name is Maribel Chima, and yes, I am your favorite children's coach and the matron extraordinaire of the Mastermind Circle. We're having such a cruise in the Mastermind Circle with the children right now. Okay, we are wrapped, well, locked in, in for our 2026 cohort. And so the last group of people just joined fully this week. And so I'm so excited, and we are having such an amazing time. All right. I work with parents, I partner with parents to create transformation in the lives of their children and to help their children become the best version of themselves. If you would like us to partner with you, yes, that's what we do. We partner with you. If you would like us to partner with you on your child's journey, please reach out to us, okay, by using the link or the number in the comment section to, communicate with us, and then we can work out how we can support you to help your young children, especially your 5 to 10-year-old, on their journey. Apart from that, we have amazing resources that you can introduce into your parenting, and you can start reading with your children today. If your child does not have the collection of my books, you are leaving a lot on the table. And I am not even mincing words about this. Our books are such amazing tools. They are such great conversation starters. They are such amazing lessons wrapped in stories. That's what we have. Okay, so you need to grab copies of our books. All right, so this one will blow your mind. All right, it's The Enemy Who Stole My Time and How I Can Get It Back. This book talks about how children can learn to manage themselves so that they can manage their time, because that's the challenge that most of our children have, being able to manage their time. But time management is not the real thing, it's the child being able to manage themselves. Starting with being self-aware. All right, so this tells the story of Tega, but it teaches your children all about time management and identifying the enemy, the things that are stealing their time. And who am I becoming? Who am I becoming is such a beautiful, beautiful book that will help your child begin to understand themselves, and build their identity. Such beautiful, beautiful stories that we have. We have 12 books altogether, 12 children books, and you can get any of them. All right, Destined for Greatness. That's it. That's it. We've told stories here of great people from African descent that have distinguished themselves and have become great. And because your child is destined for greatness, these people become examples. These people are examples to the characters in this story, and the characters in this story have told and have seen themselves through the eyes of these leaders who have distinguished themselves over the years. So we have all of them amazing. This one for your 0 to 6-year-old, Mira the Courageous Bird. All about, animals, fables, yet beautiful, lovely, 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 lovely stories with lessons packed in them. We have Unlocking Excellence, how your child can excel beyond the classroom. And this one is all about helping your child become money smart, helping your child have the abundance mindset. Okay, so there's so many of them, all 12 of them. You can get them. We have Adama's trip to grandma's, how Adama wanted to be there for her grandma when grandma was ill. As I said, this one is packed with values and lot of lessons. And yes, this one is our bestseller. This was my very first book, Bedtime Stories for Champions, packed with over 20 stories of young people, real life people who are making a difference in the world just through what they learned from their mommy's kitchen, from the living room, or from grandma's tales, or from grandma's habits. Such amazing books. So you can get any of our books, all 12 of them, and help your child develop a love for reading beautiful, beautiful stories. Look at them, all colorful, amazing, beautiful, every child loves our books, I tell you. Thank you for joining me today. Okay, I look forward to having you again tomorrow at 8 o'clock, when we'll be sharing, more about why you need to get your child, or why you need to start and cultivate the habit of, reading to your children and using bedtime story as a tool. Thank you again for joining me. Have a fantastic rest of the evening. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section and we will attend to them. Thank you again. God bless you. Bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.